Hello and welcome to all my beautiful fiery Sagittarians. Yous are ruled by Jupiter, which is I grow. It is the house of it is the planet connected to religion, optimism, good luck, expansion, philosophy, and abundance. It's linked to the pituitary gland. I can't speak right now, which is ironic. I feel like I'm always talking, but now with you, Sagittarius, I can't seem to talk. So I'm cleansing your area. It's connected to the gland in your brain that deals with your hormones and also with all the functions related to your liver. You guys also rule the 9th house, the house of philosophy, which is to do with wisdom, fruition, and achievements. You are a fire sign and you have a feminine duality, so you are very fluid and you go with the flow. You don't like to be stuck down. And you are very optimistic, versatile, moral, irresponsible, tactless, and lazy. So all the good things and all the bad things. You are also born between the 23rd of October and the 21st of November and December the 21st. So 21st to the 21st. So this is currently your birth month. So happy birthday. Actually, I have a Sagittarian friend and their birthday is today. So call out to you, Mitch. Anyway, this is for all my sun, moon, and risings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reading and try and be as accurate as possible for your 2026. So every single month I'm pulling 2 cards. I'm going to be pulling one from a Solaris Divinity and one from a Lucid Dreams, and I am taking reversal so that we can get it as accurate as possible and see what's happening month by month. Of course, this is a huge year. Lots is happening. People are changing, growing, glow-ups, wiping the slate clean, restarting something, focusing on a specific area of their life. There's so much happening, and this is the year of the horse. So yous are also represented by the archer, or in many times it's a centaur, which is a half man, half horse. This might just be your year for my beautiful Sagittarians. Yous are very direct and focused. You know what you want and you go for it. Yous are also very, very philosophical. Yous get very connected and you love talking about things from the 9th house because yous rule the 9th house. So I will be using this oracle deck to get like a bit of the overviewing, like what might be playing in the background or what might be your main focus, just from this oracle deck, which is the World Muse Tarot, World Muse Oracle from Vanessa Samina. Now, I also will begin some tea leaf cards for the very ending, only because this is a whole year, and while there might be negatives and positives, there is so much more that happens, and because we're connected to people who are friends and family and outside of our purview, and work and other people might affect our lives, or they are in our magnetic field, in our magnetic area, we might just pick up on stuff from them, or it might affect our year as well. So I do try and get as clear as possible, but I will jump into your reading and let's get started. All right, all my beautiful Sagittarians, this is your reading. As you can see, I already pre-shuffled the cards. Like, I just shuffled them all out. I just didn't do it on camera because it takes forever, and I think that might be one of the reasons why Aries was like an hour and a half. So I've already uploaded those. If you want to watch your sun, moon, rising, go for it if you know what your chart is. So yes, you could be a sun, moon, rising Sagittarius and you just want to get your full complete reading, or even Venus. A lot of people go for Venus if they want to find out what's happening in love as well. So I haven't seen any of these, but they've all came out, and it's just to save a lot more time in recording. So for your oracle cards, the World Muse, we got 3, the best of you. Maybe you're going to be focusing on yourself and bringing out the best of you, or working on being a better you. gentleness. You might be a bit more gentle with yourself or learning to be gentle with others. Trust your intuition. I feel like that's very straightforward. And boss up. You might need to follow your gut instinct, and in Sagittarius you have a good gut instinct. I feel like you're very fiery and passionate, but like if something serious comes up, you don't take that laying down. It's like you take action. You are more of an action kind of person. You don't like to be stuck down. You do like your freedom, but if there's something that's you need to do, you jump to it. You do, like you get it, you get stuff done, I feel like. So boss up, number 5. So you might be taking matters into your own hand with like a job. You might be doing side hustle to gain some extra cash. You might be doing your own business. You might even jump positions. So I feel like you might be focused more on yourself growing and changing and being a certain way with other people. You might be learning more about yourself, but also taking actions into your own hands, I'm hearing. So let's jump straight on in. January. So our first card is actually the lucid dream. I always shuffle them out, and then I shuffle out the Solace Divinity to go with them. Some of them have flipped over, and I've just flipped them back over so I wasn't looking at them, and I've forgotten most of them because I do all of these all the time. So we got an Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. This is either a new job. You might come into some more money. You might be trying to change a job, or you've been looking for jobs and that manifests, like you get a new offer or something. Something is like new stability. You might get a return or something of significant money coming your way, or a resource coming your way. And then you got 7 of Swords in reverse. Confession, coming clean, cowardice. So when we put these two together, you might be honest about a material gain or something that you need. You might actually even ask for help and someone gives it to you. For others, you might, I feel like you might be a little sneaky with going or doing this. You might, if you do gain a lot of money, I think you might keep it to yourself and then later on come clean. Like, I'm not saying like I feel like you would be honest with the people you feel safe with, like maybe your family. Not all family members are safe to open up to. You might be doing this as well to be gentle on yourself. Maybe you are getting a little worried of, you know, if you swap a job, how would this person react? Or how would, you know, you also might be, this could be a new, sometimes this can be a new idea that can gain you money, or a new spark in something where it comes with stability of some sort. There is so many ways it can show up. For some people, for some weird reason, I'm not even looking at the pentacles. I'm actually looking at these flowers. You might be growing something from a seed upwards. You might be planting some new seeds and it does yield something great. For some people it could be, I'm hearing for some it's a relationship, either a friendship or partnership. And I think maybe you've hidden, I'm feeling you might have hidden your emotions and you've confessed confessions. You might have been sneaky with money and you finally confess, like you get it off your chest. You might have been not the best person always, and so now you're sort of stepping into the more honest, better side of you. You're being the best you can be. We do have the 5 of Cups. This confession might have a backlash, actually. Something you regret or you grieve. You're mourning. You might turn down something like a job or something and you grieve it, or if we're looking at February as its own, it could be something else entirely happens that causes you to mourn something and sort of like crying over spilt milk. So the Five of Cups could be something as serious as, you know, a breakup or a loss of something or a loss of someone, you being disappointed in yourself with how you handled something. Like you're crying over the spilt milk, like you're looking at these 3 that you've lost but not the 2 that are still sitting here. It's as if you're turning your back on everything, you're not focusing on what's in front of you. And when it comes to the Ten of Swords, once that's in reverse, that's actually a good sign, because it means it can only get better. So this is rock bottom for you. So it can only get better. You do confess something, though. You confess something important to you, or you pass on something and you finally tell someone and it actually causes trouble, or they could say something that breaks your heart or upsets you. But you grow and you're healing. The swords, so because it's upside down, it's like the swords are gonna fall out, like they can only go one way, which is out. Like you can heal. Yeah. Oh gosh, so this could be due to a rejection. I did say I was feeling like a friendship or relationship or something, and confession. You could get rejected by this rejection, or this person's like, you might tell them how you really feel about them and you probably weren't as nice, you probably weren't with gentleness. Maybe that's why you need to be gentle. However, it could be a false start. Maybe after this you don't know what to do and you're lacking any progression. Like you're healing but there's no progression. If this is the case, you are trying to persevere, you're trying to hold down, you might be setting new boundaries for your own protection. For Sagittarians, I feel like you guys do say it, you're quite direct, you're quite honest, and you say it the way it is. But I'm trying to think of what you're like when it comes to your emotions. Like if you truly love someone, like if this is indeed a relationship prospect and you confess, and if someone rejects you because of that, I feel like that would really, like that would cause this, like I feel like it would hit you hard. My poor Sagittarians, you guys can, like, you won't show it, but you would feel it. You guys can feel very deeply as well. I feel like everyone does. But yeah, it seems like you're growing. This might actually help you to see and learn more about yourself and become a better person, so that this rejection doesn't happen again. Like they might reject you and tell you why, and it's a little bit of what you weren't expecting. You might learn that, like, they were like, oh, but you can be, there's this and this and this and this I don't like about you, and those are deal breakers, you know. You do grow and you do move on. You're gonna take action. You're going to do a lot of deep diving and growth. So the moon is all about like your intuition. It is the unseen, it's the subconscious. So you might be diving into why you do things subconsciously. Like, why are you like this? Like, maybe you figure out you're like this because of an upbringing or something, but it is very deep, and you are very philosophical. You have a lot of depth to you, to a degree where you're honest with people, but sometimes you're probably a little too brutal with people, and you're trying to figure out why you're like that. So you're taking action to get past certain insecurities and you're facing them. But you might also be following your intuition a bit more now, because you probably weren't expecting this. You probably thought they were going to jump into your arms. So that's for some people. For others, it could be you learned there were some consequences to an action that you took, maybe denying something or gaining something, and someone's made you feel bad about it, and now you're healing. slowly from that. Like maybe someone ended up saying, I didn't think you were that kind of person who would take money, like even if you won it fair and square, and you lose a friend and you didn't think that they were like that. Maybe it makes you wonder if you could actually read people the way you thought you could. So maybe you're like, well, I should have trusted my intuition prior. Like you did get a little oof from them. So I really feel like you Sagittarians have a lot of other people involved. Like you seem to be very responsive, like reactive. I think like you might not show you're reactive, but you feel reactive, if that makes sense, because a lot of these seem to be reactions to other people's reaction to you. Does that make sense? Like if you do something, this person's reaction is going to hurt you, going to affect you, and then you got to try and focus on yourself because you're feeling this from someone else's reaction to what you did. Like your action caused a reaction and then you reacted sad because of their reaction to your action. Oh my god, that felt so turnabout. I feel like you might be a naturally reactive person. It's not bad, it's just that sometimes it's not healthy, and it means that with emotional stuff and with growing and getting things done, you actually might be quite slowed down. And when you start getting action into something, it might be to grow more. I feel like you're someone who's always growing, always learning more about themselves, very philosophical about yourself, why you are the way you are. Like you might actually be someone who dives into philosophy and to pharmacology, like, you know, learning about why people tick and why they think this way and what happens and the way society works and all of this sort of stuff. It's going to help you grow. You're going to be focused on this. You might actually learn a new skill or figure out something you're really good at and start putting some effort and energy. Yeah, and it's going to be very, very healing. It's going to give you some new hope, some new energy. I do feel like this is something very you, something very important to you. And it is a transition. You might travel or start processes into traveling. You might be walking away from something, but it's going to be like if you're cutting something out of your life for someone or leaving a job or something, it's gonna be a benefit for you because you're going on to calmer waters. This is the Six of Swords. This is really good. It's a transition. It puts distance between you and something you want to put distance between. And if you're putting distance between this past that might have brought you down, you've been slowly building yourself back up. But it feels like this, you working on yourself, you are like that again. There's perseverance again. This is persevering, this is persevering. However, this persevering and that persevering is different. This is you physically defending yourself against people who do not like you. You might have actually felt like you were in a situation where you were constantly being attacked or being watched. Like if you're in a job where you are feeling constantly watched, or like, oh, when am I getting a tap on the shoulder to be let go, or when am I, you know, they're looking for any excuse to get rid of me. You know, that might be for some of you, whereas up here it sort of seems like you're working instead, or you're persevering to work to a new job, to something you want to do, or something that's new to you that you need a new skill in, or you're waiting to see, you know, your paycheck from, or something like that. Like you're working in something that's different to this sort of work life that you had. You could still be in the same job, but you changed the position. I'm also seeing this rejection could be a rejection from a position. Maybe if you're honest about something, they're like, nope, that's not it. Like maybe you done the right thing, and when something happened, you're like, you put your hand up, yeah, it was me, and you thought like they would be like, okay, thank you for being honest, as most places would. But for you, it didn't turn out that way. You actually, instead of getting a slap on the wrist, which is probably what would normally happen, you probably get let go. So as I was saying, this is a different kind of perseverance. It's like you're working hard for something, not persevering to deal with something. You're persevering for something, not against something. Does that make sense? And this is, with this transition, it's something you choose to do. You might go with the flow and just do it, but it's something you took the first step in, okay? This might have been something you didn't choose to do. You might have lost a position, like lost a job, been denied or rejected for a position. For some people, I'm hearing you might have been in for a position and you get fired before you get accepted or denied. So because you were fired or you quit, that's instantly gone. It might cause some complications in your life as well, but I feel like you're not, like, if anyone says you done wrong, you will stand your ground and say you did not. Like, it was definitely the right thing for you, and it actually gets you to take action, and it's good action. For those where this is all about job, this could be job hunting, and I feel like you're highly considering what's the best for you. Like, what do you want to do? What would you feel secure in? What would not make you feel insecure like this place did, you know? And I feel like you work a bit of magic and you manage to get into the place you want to be in. I feel like you're very capable because, as you can see, she's got so many arms. I feel like you might be very good with your hands. Most fire signs are very good with either their hands or business, or, you know, go-getters, CEOs, bosses, manual labor, because you're very action-based. You like energy, you like spending that energy. So but also do remember, June and July is tax time. You might have been working towards getting a good tax return as well, so you probably got that on your mind as well. That is always possible. We do have the Four of Cups in reverse, which is a new outlook, a new option, retreat, clarity, awareness, time to snap out of it, choosing happiness and acceptance. So if this was actually in the up in the upside, it would be, you know, reevaluating, feeling discontent, upset, bored with life, you know. But in the reverse, which is good, what this means is, like, you might go, well, hey, look at this, isn't this good? Like, you see the cup that's being offered to you, and it might actually get a new spark going for you. I don't know, this could be, because cups are water, it could be a new relationship. There's probably, this can sometimes mean, like, when it's upright, it means you don't see what's right in front of you. This could mean that there's been someone or right in front of you and you weren't aware, or you just didn't see it clearly. Like, it was right there and you're like, how could I not have seen it? But once you do actually see it for what it is, I feel like you get this youthful spark again. This is another reason why I think it might have been romance, because when you get a new partner and there's love in the air and you're in that honeymoon theme and phase, everyone feels young and acts younger, and, you know, their inner child comes out. It's quite unique and it's quite giddy, you know. It's that youthful side of all of us, like our romantic side, our little giddy selves. I don't know, I think I'm just getting that feeling. I don't know if Sagittarians act like that. I'm not much of a love reader, so I'm actually a little bit surprised if that is the case, because I did get a romantic feeling from an Ace of Pentacles, and I'd never read an Ace of Pentacles like that, never. It's always a job or an offer, but for some weird reason, the flowers were really bright for you guys. I did state it could be, because this is general reading, guys. It can be for so many different things, and we all have different lives, different experiences, even though collectively, as a collective of humans on this planet, we can experience similar or same experiences to a certain degree based on circumstances. So I do feel like someone might be going through romance in this year of 2026. Maybe you wanted romance in your life this year. Maybe you've gone a while without romance. Maybe that's why you shoot your shot or something. Like, you are the archer. You know, you go for something. If this is a new love prospect for someone, they might be younger than you. I'm not 2. This is a number 2. It's got a number 2 on it. It might be like they're 2 years or 2 months younger than you. It's not by a lot, but they are younger than you. They really, they might fire you up. They might make you feel passionate. Maybe this is why we have the best of you in gentleness. They might be a gentle person who brings the best out in you. I'm hearing patience. They might be someone who's very patient. For some of you, when it comes to something like this, especially with partners and love and stuff, really do trust your intuition. Really do. It's very hard. Like, I mean, everyone should be able to trust their intuition of if you're picking up flirting vibes or not. But then again, I mean, some people are bad with that sort of stuff as well. I think some people are oblivious or whatnot. For others of you, you might actually get, because you are moving on, you're waiting for something to grow. If this has to do with like money for tax return, you might actually be like, wow, I got a lot back. This is gonna be good. And you think of doing something new, or you have a new idea or a new spark for something. I mean, everything is related, and it is sort of like a storybook. So sometimes I read this, like it all rolls from one to the other. And that's true. Our lives is a storybook. If we were to write a book, that's what a biography is, guys. You do have major arcana, the Chariot, the Moon, the Magician, the Star, all in a row. And it starts pretty much in April, and it goes through April and May. Major arcana are huge life events or huge situations, or a huge part of your life. It doesn't have to be a big event, but it could have a big impact or a big return or a big outcome. You know, like it's longer lasting. It's more like it takes more attention, and it takes more action, more area. Like, it's as if we were to think of it as we are a storage drive. Like, this would probably take up, out of a terabyte, this would probably take up 800 gigabyte, you know? For example, it's a bigger part of our overview, and it seems to be April to May. This seems to be a big cluster of it. So these seem to be pretty big events, just based on the fact that these are major arcana. It could just mean it's the big, you might be glowing up or growing up, I'm hearing for some of you. We carry on into August. So for August, we have alignment. So when this is upside, this is about making choices and having loads of options and being clouded, you know, not too sure, there's indecision, you're a bit like, oh, what do I do? But when we have it in reverse, we have you feeling clear, you know, seeing something for what it is, feeling aligned. It's as if you get a new offer. Let's say you need to get a loan, and you look at all these other places, and all of them have the fine print, and you finally find one, and you read the fine print, and it's exactly what you needed, and you finally go, finally, the illusion ends. Like, you finally clear on what you're getting. You know what you're getting, you know what you're going for, and you know where you stand. Now, we do have the Eight of Swords in reverse. In reverse is brilliant. This is how you want it, which is just so happens to be that once you finally are out of the illusions, you're feeling aligned, things seem to be getting better, much better. Things can only go upwards. That is part of this card. This card is like, things can't get any worse. You can't fall down any further. You can only regenerate, heal, get better, and move on. You can only move on. And that's exactly what you do. You grow, you learn, you expand, you get a new drive, you get a new aim, you get a new heading, a new goal, and you keep on moving. And that's brilliant. That's what you Sagittarians are brilliant for. You love to travel, you love to have a basic goals. Like, you're not one of those people who's very specific. You're just like, okay, this ends well, then there's this. You do have like contingency plans for certain things if something were to happen, because I feel like you guys think a lot. However, with this, there's freedom, acceptance. Like, it's like I'm hearing a sigh of relief. Like, you're finally where you want to be, that you can relax, you feel like you can let down your walls, you feel like this is maybe like happened 100 years ago, like it's in the past far. Like you're like, I can't believe I used to feel this way. I used to feel like I was always in an argument, always in a fight. I was always like, you know, like you're you know, when you watch a horror movie and you're constantly tensed and ready for like a jump scare or something, it's as if that's how you were wired for so long and dealing with it for so long, that once you hit this moment and it's like, it's all relaxed. It's you've never, it feels like it's been forever since you've experienced this, and it's freaking phenomenal, guys. I can feel you go, it's just so wonderful. This is really good. I'm really happy for you guys. You might be very generous during this time. Typically when we're very happy and things are going good for us, we tend to want to share that. And I feel like you are someone who's very kind to a degree. Like you're very honest, you're very open. You might be someone who's always been dependable. And but I also feel like sometimes with finances, this could mean that you are being reckless, or you're being greedy. Like you might want to buy something that's expensive, and you might view that as greedy. It's something like that. You do have the Page of Cups in reverse. Seduction. This could be someone uses seduction to gain some generosity from you. I'm hearing a trade, so someone might go off fair trade. You buy me this and I'll take you out or something, which is wild. It's very unique. But yeah, it could be, there could be something that happens that causes you to feel a little bit insecure, like not knowing how to handle a situation. That's what I'm getting. Something might happen and it's out of the blue, like a financial insecurity. This could be that especially if you do, like if the scenario is you lose a job and you're doing something else, your finances might be so different to what it used to be, and if you are back in the dating scene, you might feel a bit insecure to actually admit that you don't make the money you used to in the previous job, even though it was unhealthy, like that job or that workplace or whatnot. You might actually feel a bit insecure about this. You might also, I'm also hearing a bit of a muck up, like if something happens, you could have miscalculated and there's a muck up and you're a little embarrassed, guys. Maybe you're a little bit embarrassed to admit and be like, how did that happen? Okay, we're getting into October. Betrayal, deception, scheming, strategy, cunning, theft, dishonesty, sneakiness. Now, with the Seven of Swords, just because it shows up, it doesn't mean that someone is going to steal from you. It doesn't mean someone won't steal from you. It does also mean that this could be you. You could be a little bit sneaky with something, or I'm hearing like you're withholding all of the truth. Like you told them what they asked, you just didn't elaborate. That's sort of what I'm hearing for some of you. However, this could also be someone else who was being a little bit deceptive, like they weren't honest. Sort of like I'm hearing like you saw like a picture of someone with makeup on, and then after so long you see them without makeup and they're not the same person, and you're like, oh, so they were a little deceptive. Like you're not angry. It doesn't feel like there's like serious anger issues. It's just that like you're not mad at this person or anything. If someone is sneaky or deceptive with you, I'm not feeling anger. Probably disappointment I'm feeling. This could also be something like because we did have money loss, like, you know, maybe we're not so careful with our finances and then we're a little bit insecure. You might feel insecure that you keep it to yourself. You're like a little bit like you didn't tell that someone the whole truth about that, so like a specific situation, especially if it does involve another person. And it feels like a lot of you guys are social butterflies. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. You are very social butterflies, and that just seems to be, you know, showing in your cards, because it seems like a lot of your events are reactions or have involvements of others in it. this might be indecision. Like you might, if you are being sneaky, you might feel like you're lacking self-worth. You might feel your morals, like you have affected your own morals, like you've acted in a way you never would have. You might feel very embarrassed. And I think the best of you, I think you could have acted this way in a situation or to a person, or withheld truth from a person who might view the best of you, and you feel quite terrible because this person would never perceive you to do that, and it actually affects you more because this person could never see you doing it, and that makes you feel like as if you've let them down. This could be you doing something sneaky, as in surprise. You're probably finding it, like, I've got a feeling you don't like to be sneaky. I feel like it's not in your moral code or compass. I mean, maybe with certain things, but I feel like there's something that's going to cause a change. You might also be traveling. It might slow your life down a little. You might really enjoy the time, but I feel like there's certain things you're not going to be telling the truth on. You might be a little bit careful, or you could be you might need to be careful with what you're doing. Like, you might be strategic about money moving forward. If you are indeed going to be traveling, you might be avoiding spending a lot, or you might be a little, I think you might even consider cancelling or not doing something. You might actually be more disappointed with yourself if you do cancel this, because you were so careful and you were, I feel like there's something in the way it causes. I'm hearing I've got a bit of a pickle. Oh, whoa. You got the same card twice in a row, from October to November. You could be learning from a past event. This event might be you've learned your lesson. Returning home. You might be traveling back home, but there is a fear of change. If you're thinking of a giant change, I feel like you like change, but you're scared of it at the same time. I'm hearing that. Especially if it's a change you're not in control of. You might be avoiding facing certain situations, especially a bad situation that you need to deal with. Everything will balance. Justice is a major arcana. So because we've had this event, it feels like it's taking up space in your mind, but it's also affecting your emotions. You might be a bit shorter with people, a bit more snappy. It might be causing anxiety for you guys. Especially I'm hearing like it's something impending, like there's like a time limit and you're leading up to it, and it feels like you're getting worried with what to do. You need to face this. You need to learn from your past reactions. Like, I don't know. It's something very specific for someone. But there's something happening. You could be walking away from something, canceling something. You might have avoided right up to the very last second to cancel, based on finances. I think you tried to plan, but something had caused a massive wrench in your plans. There is going to be justice. So this is all about fairness. It's about balance. Like, it doesn't matter if you were in the wrong and you did do something naughty, something sneaky, something not good. Karma will come back. Sorry to say, but like, if you done the bad thing, justice will be, you'll be accountable. If someone else did this to you, they will be held accountable. Justice pays out to whoever needs it. If you were in the wrong, you'll get justice, Like, that's the way it sort of works. Like, you'll be held accountable. So it's unbiased. So cause and effect. Also, if you've been tight-lipped about a truth, it will come out during this time. So November, it would come out. But for December, collaboration, teamwork and skills, goals. I feel like whatever this is, I feel like the Justice is like it's been dealt with and there's a new start, which is a good time, especially in December. You could be starting a new place and working with other people. You could be working with others to make more money, collaborating with people in something that requires skill. You could be building something with other people. With the King of Cups, this is going to be what you need to balance. It's going to help you become emotionally mature as well, because your emotions seem to be really out during this point of time. You might be feeling a lot more due to people you're connected to. It could be, I don't know why, because typically with the Six of Cups is when I feel like melancholy and like reunion with people from your past, like people who you like going down memory lane. I'm getting that a little bit from this because it is the Cups, which is emotions, and when we have heading back home, you might be a little bit more emotional seeing people back home, like, you know, your family, especially if you've been away from them for a long time. I do also have, so if you're working with others, I feel like maybe you're the person in control of this teamwork or this effort or whatever you're creating or collaborating with. But I also feel for some of you, it's putting you in a really good place. Like you're getting a better balance on your emotions. You're being very compassionate. I feel like you might be just very compassionate and understanding kind of person. But you're also being very in charge and diplomatic. I feel like you're being fair. It's like this Justice card might just put you in the right place. If it does, especially if this is you needed justice on someone else because they've wronged you, it puts you right. It puts everything right. So if something has happened, especially with legal, and if it had to do with like this, do know justice will be paid right. Like it will come full circle. But everything will work out, especially by the end of the year. You're with people, you're emotionally and mentally secure and balanced, and you're sitting in the right place. You're working with the right people, and you're back into making money. So if you are indeed having some financial difficulty throughout this year, this is going to eventually be sorted. You also, from this Justice, I'm hearing if you and some other people were affected by something and there were some legal proceedings due to it, there will be a payout for all those affected. Just for someone, that is for. I did a whole heap of these, just loads of stuff came out. So we do have October. So October is very important. So whatever, you know, this is like the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Cups. It seems to be an important event. And then you have July, which was, you know, a new outlook and a new spark. So that's also important. We have an older man, dealing in a relationship with an older man. Wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. Very interesting. Interesting indeed. That could be here. I also want to mention, here you had clarity, and here something else is coming up a bit deceitful. These could be connected, and hence why justice comes afterward. It might be an event that gets resolved later on. So if there is something to do with work and you lose a job or whatever, if there is any legal proceedings, it will be in your favor. Carrot, opportunity or windfall. Dragon, beware of self-delusion. I feel like you might be your worst critic, guys. Shark, take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. Be careful, guys. I feel like that definitely belongs there. I sometimes put these with the area that it feels connected to. Mule, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. target, a goal-orientated person. This feels like the Chariot, taking action, getting things going. Tower, solid foundation, success with effort. I feel like that's definitely belonging in this April and May area, because you guys get a lot learnt, sorted, new action, new goals, new target. Like, you start getting the ball rolling. Feather, someone you know is undependable and insincere. If you get an offer, it could mean that it wasn't a sincere offer. Like, it didn't have any real, like, it's like, oh, I'll pay you this if you do it, and then you do it, and then like, oh shit, I wasn't serious, I don't have that money. Like, it's something like that. We have bird flying, news is on the way. I remember you had one where it's like you were waiting on like a message of information. Trying to think of where it was. I'm just gonna stick it here because this also has to do with clarity. Dog, close up, pleasure with a close friend. Interesting. I did also get like that and that both felt a bit like romance. This would probably be if you got rejected. Successful outcome to your problems. Rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Someone is being an ass. Vine, seek out information that will help you, not sneak out, seek out, guys. That definitely feels like magician energy, because your magician is you manifesting and learning and growing and taking action. You might be learning some information, if indeed this is something to do with loss of job, legal actions, you know, paperwork. You might be learning about the processes, legislations, what is legal, what is illegal, and like getting some more hope. When you learn this stuff, you get hope, and you know if you have a leg to stand on legally. Rabbit, too much concern with sexual matters. Yep, I'll leave that right there. You might begin lucky in July, who knows. Happiness and well-being. I do feel like you only go upwards after the beginning. January seems to be a huge thing, because you do start off with that that big pentacle, that ace of pentacle. It seems to be really big, but if you notice it's frosty, this could be, oh, and there's a nose, a long nose, like Pinocchio. Maybe you're telling a little white lie and something comes to clear. Remember when so you do know that there's this like a confession. If a little white lie was told, maybe that's why there's a long nose. In January, you might be coming forward, or the other person will be coming forward with the truth. And November. Now, November was pretty huge. You had justice, and you also had this Eight of Cups. So your October and November are huge when it comes to whatever this event is. So January, October, November, and I did mention as a glow up, your April and your May are huge months for that, and you just keep going. July is really important because of your new outlook and your new realization, your new spark. There's something that fires your heart up again. Information, an offer, someone being honest, or someone you shoot your shot for, but instead of it being rejection, it's acceptance. An older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. Could be someone you collaborated with. Four-leaf clover, I also put it with the older men, because most times older women and older men can be grandparents, parents, anyone like that. You get great good fortune. Great or good fortune. If you consider, it doesn't mean it has to be money. It could be a job offer. It could be winning. It could be you winning whatever this justice thing is and things getting better. You also have funnel. Period of frustration, lessons to be learned. You do have a bit here where it's a bit like slowness and stagnation and stuff as well. Seahorse, family matters. I did have the double 8 of cups here, and I kept feeling like you're gonna go visit family again. Bird perched, waiting for news, package letter. I feel like this might be what you're waiting on. you do have travel, but it's also like you're waiting to get some like if you're waiting to yield an investment. A handshake, a meeting with a stranger could be important. Interesting. Unicorn, you use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Trust your intuition. You have trust your intuition as one of your main oracle cards. And I feel like there was probably something that you should have seen, especially at the start of the year, but you don't. And it hurts you big time. Dolphin. Financial gain, unusual coming from something you did in the past. This is about waiting for finances to come in. So it's something you begin doing and you yield from it. Lobster, financial pinch. You did have that thing where as if you were a little bit embarrassed if you did spend money and you didn't mean to spend that much, and then you were short. Chain of events that will affect your life. This whole thing feels like a massive chain, and it is literally an entire event that makes up your life. That's what our life is. It is a massive chain of experience, and each link is a new experience. An apple, temptation will test you. There you go. Wow. Oh my god, I feel like I aged 100 years. I feel like you guys go through a lot, and you're very emotional beings. I'm sorry, but there is a lot of like reactive, like I mentioned that weird turnabout, like you got upset because someone was reactive to your actions or what you said, and you reacted to how they reacted. So it felt like you feel like a very emotional and reactive being. So Sagittarius, this is the reading I have for you for your 2026. Anything you get from this, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Just remember some of the stuff that popped up. If you wanted some insight, if something happens or someone offers you something and you don't know if they're sincere, trust your intuition. Try and get some advice from all of this that's came out. Write down the little notes, anything that seemed to stick out. Especially with things that seem more like, oh, you don't know what that is, but you're going to keep a note of it because it seemed to have a big impact. Just write things down. You will remember that if something bad happens, it is only going to get better. Please don't despair. Take it rationally. Be your usual stubborn self and know that you can do anything, guys. Alrighty, so I'm going to leave you with this, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye now.